Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome over to the casting desk here at the ASUS ROG Dream League Season 3. It's myself, Odie Pixel, and of course Draskell. We're ready to take you into the second game of the first best of 3 today between the sides of Vega and Yellow Submarine. And, well, Draskell, we had it before in the first picking phase. Darkseer gets through as the first pick and followed up by an Earthshaker. That's a wombo combo and a half.
I feel like this is watching Dota 2 years ago. Like, these were the same picks.
I mean, literally, we've seen no other team pick the Darkseer.
Yeah, it's not a bad hero, though. Like,
a very personal thing.
In the way that they like to run it, they say they pick it against any kind of greedy composition. So I guess whenever you have a jungler like a Chen or an Enigma, they might consider that greedy enough to warrant having the hero. But they first picked it. So they had first pick, which means they didn't even see the Chen, and they just took it. So I'm wondering if they just think that it's that good for the style that they want to play, that it's like one of the only heroes that can fit in. I'm still of the mind that if you're picking stuff that's not common, it's always better to pick it later. Because you can always get it. Like there's no panic of, oh, is my second phase, like Queen of Pain, for example, going to get banned? Are they going to first ban Shadow Fiend? Because, you know, we know that Barrage plays a really good Shadow Fiend. Like there's reasons to why you pick stuff at certain phases in the game. And the only thing that I can think of is you pick those types of heroes to elicit some kind of response from Vega. But Vega probably don't play against Darkseer, so they're like, what the hell are we supposed to pick against Darkseer? So they don't care. But they already have Beastmaster, which is already a good hero against it. So I'm not sure what Yellow Submarine are going to go for the rest of the draft. I will say that a Shaker Darkseer can be pretty terrifying as a combo, but the last time they picked a combo with Ember, they didn't ever use it. So no. I'm not sure if they're the combo players.
Maybe not, maybe not. I mean, talking about the Ember Spirit, do you feel like we could see the Ember Spirit with this Darkseer? I mean, it worked quite nicely in the laning stage with the old Flame Guard Iron Shell giving the old rundown.
It can be strong. Like the Ember Darkseer, the damage output that you have is pretty ridiculous, and it makes your mid-game fighting very scary to deal with because Ember is already kind of hard to kill. You need a lot of magic damage burst, you need some heavy lockdown to be able to take him out. So the longer uptime he has in fights, the more damage that he can do. But they're going to go for the Storm instead, another nice hero who partners well with Darkseer just because you can zip in with an Ion Shell. You pull, you consistently get the damage output of the Ion Shell hitting him the whole time, and you can just go for a kill based off that. But already with a Lion and a Beastmaster, I feel like it's going to be another hard game for the Storm.
I mean, you know, the Storm in the first game, it wasn't too bad. At the end, there was that bit of a mess up in terms of the dieback. But all around the Storm play was not bad from the side of Yellow Submarine.
No, he had a really good early mid game.
Yeah.
But the thing is, sometimes a mistake can be so big that you just instantly lose the game. And that kind of stuff has to be said. Like that mistake lost his team the game. So I hope that he has a better game this time around. And like you said, he had a great start, even against a team that was probably tailor-made to deal with him. So maybe he can have a much better game too. And I think having an Axe Darkseer potentially off lane could be seeing some kind of hard carry last, or maybe they want to put the Axe up against the Beastmaster again because he actually solo killed Mag in the first matchup. It was very early on.
They could try and opt for that again.
And Dale had a great game. So I'm curious as if they're going to be looking at those lanes again. Like Storm mid to then the Axe safe lane, and then maybe you put the Darkseer and the off lane of the jungle, and then Shaker plus whatever carry you're going to go for.
Okay, fourth pick now for the side of Vega. They're still looking for those, well, the two cores for the mid lane and the safe lane here. Up against the Storm Spirit, anyone that kind of comes to mind that's still in the pool that you could be picking up? I mean, is this a Zeus game?
Zeus isn't too bad. You call it.
Apparently it is.
There you go. Any Blink Initiator team, like Zeus is always going to be great. Again, BKB purchases are something that Barash showed that he's okay with going second item BKB. Like a lot of Storms don't like going Orchid BKB or Bloodstone BKB because you really want both items in conjunction to really start snowballing. But if he's willing to go BKB Orchid, as long as he plays around the build, I think it's fine. You can still get roared, of course, from Beastmaster, but I don't think you want to roar BKB'd Storm. It just seems like kind of a waste. And you don't have any right-click damage on your team right now anyway. So Vega potentially looking at some right-click.
I mean, I know he didn't build the Battle Fury before, but if they got an Ember Spirit with an Axe Core, with an Earthshaker, with a Darkseer, I mean, that is a lot of potential for some very nice sleight of fisting.
Yeah, but I think in that game, there were also a lot of counters to the Ember as well. Like there was really high damage output. They had good disables. And they had a lot of methods of locking him out here. So we'll see if they want to go for the Ember again. You know who I really want to see Vega pick, but I doubt they will, is I want to see AM.
Okay.
AM is super good against this team.
Yeah,
the Storm
DS
and the
and
Axe.
Storm, wow, yeah.
Yeah, the Storm and the Axe are kind of good and bad against AM.
Yeah.
Like if the AM is really farmed, both of them are not very good. But if they're ahead of the AM, then they're extremely good. So they function well from ahead, bad from behind. Who would have thought, right? Kappa. But it's like the way that they work is if the Storm gets an Orchid before the AM has Manta, then the AM always feels pressured.
He's got a lot of problems.
Yeah, if the AM has Manta and Battle Fury, then the Storm is a lot less useful, and the Axe will just get his mana burned if he calls the AM without BKB. So there's like pros and cons to picking it, but in the end, an AM can be really, really powerful when you can get him a good early game.
But do ban out the Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
So they were, I guess Vega have done their homework. They were aware that it has been picked before by Yellow Submarine, and with good stuff, and it's going to be a Clink. So, I mean, definitely not a wombo combo hero.
Awesome against Chen, though.
Yes,
Like,
very nice
awesome.
against Chen.
It's great for being able to scout out ganks. It's awesome because you can use your ultimate on Chen creeps, which gain bonus health. So that means that your Death Pact gives you more damage and more HP during the fight. And you hit like a truck. And also one of the few orbs in the game. Actually, I think it's the only orb in the game until 6.84 that goes through BKB. Because it's physically damage based. So Searing Arrows does bonus physical, which also hits towers, hits through BKB, and he can become a monster if he gets farmed.
That's true. I mean, at the same time, with the Lion, the Beastmaster, and the Zeus, they've got the control, but they've got to kind of be thinking in these fights. They've got to worry about the Storm and the Clinks going around them all. In the final pick, they're going to go with the old Gyrocopter on the side of Vega Squadron.
Okay. Gyro's not too bad. It's nice because Aurora always sets up a cooldown, like 100% of the time. You can also, like your ultra late on Gyro is good and your early is good, but Gyro has that weakness mid game where he doesn't really hit hard enough, and some BKBs come out, and like his Rocket Barrage and his Call Down are as useful. But if you can make it to ultra late, he becomes a crazy carry again because of Flat Cannon.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
We'll see if Vega has more success with it today than we saw the team Chappa yesterday.
Chappa. Good old Chappa,
Yep.
indeed. Let's see what we can see Vega come out with against the side of Yellow Submarine here in game 2 of the best of 3. First game, of course, if you've just joined us, as you can see from the top, did go to the side of Vega. So, welcome to ASUS ROG, DreamLeague Season 3. Let's have a look what we've got going down on the side of the Dire. We've got no one. He is going to be on that Zeus. It's going to be Seema the Slayer on the Lion. You're going to have Gyro being played by 9 Pasha Ibashu. Beastmaster, sorry, the Chen will be played by Solo and Beastmaster. There we go. On the offlane, it's going to be Mag. So this time Mag, he's not going to go into lane with Solo. He's going to go all by his lonesome. I'm OD Pixel. I'm here with Draskell. Draskell, what are we seeing from the Radiant?
All right, so far we're going to have a PSM. He's going to be handling that Darkseer, also punching a boar. Dale is going to be playing Axe. Fervian playing Shaker, a hero that I think it was Shearer who said, or maybe it was Shane, said they would play very well on it. And then Barash is going to be handling Storm for the 2nd game in a row. And Miposhka is going to be playing that Clinks. And he is going for some deep warding. Or at least he wants to body block one of the Chen camps because he's warded the other. So 2 large camps being warded straight up. I really like this play so far. I mean, Solo's going to have a bit of a hard time, but I think they noticed it. So we'll see if Solo gets the immediate D-ward. He wants at least 1 large camp. But he saw some pings. Depends on if they were actually pinging him or if they were just pinging for whatever reason. Okay, they do see it.
Managed to do what it is. So, I mean, Cleeks tries to go for the flashy little lock.
I think he actually walked out, or he heard the sound of him going invis. One of the other.
There was. I don't know
either
what
walked
quite
out
was
too
his
early, heard the sound. I don't know. Because he definitely noticed it immediately.
Okay, so Shaker will get the block. There's going to be a Chen pause here. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Come on, we don't have to be that precise, do we?
4, and well, we've got to check. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
All right, he's at go.
It was a 10-second pause.
That was good.
Fantastic.
That was 10 seconds.
Yeah, nice. Good anticipation there from the chat. Anyway, we're back on with the game. Darkseer will resume. And so Darkseer looks to, I guess, by the looks of it, just going to head straight into the jungle and maybe time and time head into the lane, help Dale in this matchup against the Beastmaster. And I mean, well, the melee Beastmaster against an Axe that's inevitably going to have the Iron Shell on sometime. That's not going to be nice for the old Mag.
I mean, last game he suffered, and it was just a regular 1v1. But yeah, if they come in and surge Dale, and he gets a call off on Mag, could very well be seeing another one of those early kills coming out from the Axe. We'll see if he also decides to go for the Vanguard over actually going for Blink in the first place. He still had a good game. I would actually say that the Vanguard didn't end up hurting him much at all. Maybe they missed out on like 1 or 2 kills because he didn't go for the Blink early, but he still had a very big game impact. And top lane, it's the off-lane Clinks, something that we don't really see a whole heck of a lot.
Nice call onto Mac, and there's a lot of creeps hitting onto Dale here. The ball will come in with the slow, but Mag
If he
takes
was
a
level
fair
3,
bit
I
from
think he
that.
would have killed him. He could have put 1 point into Battle Hunger, and then he would have been able to run him down. But the Boar Slow is too powerful.
In mid lane, it's being kept pretty even.
Well, what is this top lane?
Top lane, they're diving. They're really diving there under me. Well, both Miposhka and the ES. The Fisher comes out. Now Bashi takes a fair few hits from the tower on the way out. No one's going to get caught out as of yet. Well, Miposhka. Gyro's on his own here. And we'll get caught out by a Fisher.
No, he backed up. Oh my god, that range.
Oh.
I think he still dies.
He's chasing. He's got it. First blood as well. Gyro, they dive deep. He takes a fair few tower hits, and then he kind of gets left on his own.
Yeah, I mean, Klinks has very long attack range, 630. So you also have the Orb, which even at level 1 adds 30 bonus physical damage, which means he hits for 73, which is pretty hard if he's using that Orb, even at level 1. And as he gets higher, it's going to be a little bit worse. Seema's going to get spotted here, though.
He's looking for the old little
the courier snipe.
courier, that's the word. Looking for the courier snipe. I won't find it though, indeed. Yeah, Shaker comes in and spooks him. But, I mean, so the Klinks, it's a hero that we don't see a lot. Why do you feel that the side Yellow Submarine have gone for it in this matchup? Obviously very strong against the Chen.
It could be just a Chen gimmick. I mean,
yeah.
Being able to just delete a creep from the Chen push is very good. And because of how tanky you become by just eating the creep and the bonus damage that you get, like you get 50% of the health of the creep and 5% of its health and damage. So it's pretty substantial. Like a Centaur right now with just level 2 Holy Persuasion is 150 bonus HP, so the Centaur has 1250 health. So you gain 625 HP just by eating that creep at level 6. So you become tanky, you sit there, you attack people, and against a team that's going to be relatively split up as well, like Beastmaster is going to be used for vision, they're going to be looking for a lot of ganks. Klinks can very easily exploit that because you're walking around invis all the time, you find the Chen alone, you eat his creep, you kill him, you can kill the Lion very easily, the Zeus even, and we just saw he just right-clicked down a gyro.
PSM needs to be careful. There's a Chen about. Chen, Surge and get yourself out of there, my friend. And the troll trap, though, into the Centaur stop. PSM.
Nice.
I mean, as the Dark Sea is one of those kind of low-health junglers, and if the rotation's there at the right time, that's just going to be an easy kill for solo with the Centaur and the troll trap.
Even prevents him from getting the 4-minute rune, as I'm not even sure Solo's going to stick around. Maybe he's just leaving it for his mid player. I guess that's most likely what he's doing, as no one's bottle is empty right now. But, I mean, Yellow Submarine aren't doing bad in lanes again. It's still pretty even. The Chen is farming, the Darkseer is farming, the Axe is farming, the Gyro's farming. Everyone's farming, except for the Klinks. Klinks isn't farming. He got a kill, but he's not farming.
So to the face here. Back off, and it's doing a hefty bit of damage. What level is that missile's mode? Is it just level 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, level 2 missile. Dale, he's looking for no one, but no one's looking for him. Dale pops the charges here. No one will look to chase this one down. There's the Surge from PSM, and we'll be able to get the Axe out of there. I mean, in the midst of these team fights, Klinks, he's got to be careful because Zeus is just going to be throwing out the lightning bolts, and he's a fairly squishy hero, and unless he's able to eat those Chen creeps, and with heroes like the Lion, he almost certainly will have the finger available to blow him up in the mid-game fights. It's going to be so hard for the Klinks in terms of positioning.
Yeah, it's always going to be difficult when you're playing against a team that has heavy disable, and you're not really going to be capable of farming. Good God, that does a lot of damage. What the heck, man? What is he, like, level 5?
He's maxing it out, yeah.
Yeah, he's level 5, so it's level 3. 375 damage. Good gravy. That's what happens when you don't have enough range supports to be able to kill it before it hits you. Fortunately, he has a bottle, and the way that Death Pact works is it actually does heal you as well. So once he gets level 6, he won't be suffering too much from the rocket spam, as he'll be able to heal himself up. I don't know, though. I really think that Yellow Submarine have some interesting draft styles. It's cool to see different things, but I'm a little bit apprehensive if this Klinks is going to end up working out the way they want it to.
I mean, as soon as the Klinks does hit level 6, it's almost guaranteed kills on the Chen if Chen's on his own in the jungle and you catch him out, surely.
Well, not before he gets, like, some damage item up. Like, maybe he goes Mask of Madness even and decides to skip out on the Orchid altogether. Here comes the patented Invis Ion Shell. Seema's like, oh my god,
what is going on here, boys?
It's working. All right.
Well, that's the kill. Miposhka there with the final searing arrow.
It's one thing you can do.
Oh, indeed.
I think Seema noticed it a little bit late, though. because he took like 20% of his health before he
I was
realized.
going to could have stunned. Did you not have the mana? He could have thrown out an Earth Spike.
Well, he was invisible, so.
But you can guess where he is.
I guess, yeah. I mean, he can guess. It's true.
Oh, Fisher here into the Searing Arrows. Now Pashi taking a fair bit, throws the Rocket Barrage down. That's going to stop the Clinks from going any deeper here. Still 2-for-1 Lions back in lane now as well. With both PSM and Barash heading towards this bottom lane. Iron Shell onto your Storm Spirit. He's level 7. He could look to zip in on Mag here. Does he want to dive it? Yes, he does indeed. Into the streets. Oh, and he gets the slow onto Mag. Dale. He's not going to be able to chase that one down. Interesting enough, hasn't decided to put any points to the Battle Hunger here.
I mean, sometimes when you're in a 1v1, Battle Hunger can secure you a kill. But when you're against Boar, the Boar slow is better than the Battle Hunger slow. So even with the bonus movement speed that you get from it, you're not going to be fast enough to chase. It only would have gotten a kill at level 3 because the Boar was a low level. The more levels that Mag gets, and plus having Roar on top of that, like his Boar now slows for 40%. The first Boar is only 10%.
We're on to PSM there, ink on the axis as well. Darkseer, he's one hit away from death, and the final Arc Lightning there to bring him down. Thunderbolt onto Dale, pops the charges, looks for the TP out. Is he going to be able to make it? Yes, he is. There's nothing to stop it, and the damage isn't there. But they do lose the Darkseer, and top lane, the tier 1 goes down. They find an Earth Spike onto Miposhka. There's a missile flying through as well. He has got 3 bottle charges, but I think he's got 1 more. I don't think that's enough to keep him alive, is it, if this missile connects?
Yeah, he'll be fine. Even gets the rocket kill.
Just next time, I think, as you said, yeah, would have brought him low, but not quite enough. Is it still just level 3? Yeah, it's still just level 3 there on the.
It does like 281 damage or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you were saying about the laning at the start going fairly well for the side of Yellow Submarine. Are they starting to slip behind, or do you feel they're still pretty happy with the position? Kind of. Oh, hello, Earthshaker. Just takes a couple of hits to the face. The Fisher comes out. Maybe they can turn it around with Storm zipping in. Can they find a kill off the back of it? 9 Bashi will go down. There'll be a Hex from Lion, but Miposhka's there with the Searing Arrows. Stun does catch out both of them. Miposhka 1 more hit, and the Storm zipping in. They're looking for Lion. He's out of mana here, Barash. Come on, he's going to be able to get it. Just use that little zip. There we go. Peeps him. Double kill there for Brash on the Storm.
Nice bottle trading there from Miposhka. Gave him a couple of charges, so he had enough mana to go in for the kill. And it's very similar to the first game. Barash has had a good start. He's farming well. He's got a handful of kills. He's been in the right place at the right time. Hopefully he doesn't just die back at some point in the game for very little reason.
I mean, if the game ends in a similar fashion, that will be a...
It would be disappointing.
It would be disappointing indeed, because he obviously does play a very good Storm, and as you said, we're pretty much seeing that come out in the early portions of this game as well. Axedale, he's going to stick with what he knows, and he's going for that Vanguard straight up again.
I think it's fine, like, to go Vanguard. It doesn't delay his blink that much, and it's not as if he needs the initiation exactly at this point in the game. Like, sure, the Storm with the Blink Ion Shell Axe is pretty tempting to just try to go, like, full YOLO mode and just go for mass kills, but he's pretty lucky that he doesn't have Blink, because if he tried to go on Mag under the tower, he would have walked into 2 smoked heroes and probably gave up his life in the process. And they're going to scout it out, but even committing to Dale is so tanky, and they don't have Finger. So I really don't think they can go for him. Like, they have to find somebody other than the Axe to try to kill.
Fine, wrap him right round. We'll get the ward down in the Radiant Jungle, and Dale and Fervian. We're going to check out Roshan here, get the ward out. Yep, Dale standing around, keeping Fervian safe. The wraparound's incoming, though, from the Radiant Jungle. Who's going to make the first jump? Storm is. He's looking for Solo on the Chen, and with the Fisher to hold him in place. Hanagod comes through, but the Dung still blows him up. They find Chen. They do lose the Darkseer off the back of it. Cooldown coming down. It's going to catch just Barash, though. He gets roared underneath it, as you said. He's able to zip out at the last moment, but he still goes down to the Beastmaster. Dale will fall as well. It's a 3-for-1 trade. Double kill here for Mag on the Beastmaster. And all in all, a very nice little wraparound there from the side of Vega through the Radiant Jungle.
Yeah, the warding from Yellow Submarine not coming in there, because the ward they had was on the side of Roshan. So they didn't see any of the opposite side of the river, their own jungle. They couldn't see it. Then they came from a direction they weren't expecting and gave him a nice little flank maneuver. And now Alliance level 6, so he's got his finger up. They're going to be pushing into the tier 1. There's still no Blink on the Axe, and I mean, overcommitting a little bit for just a Chen kill. Maybe they should have just not tried to ball that hard for him.
TP into the bottom tower, PSM. He has been scared out by the Hawk, and he's got a missile coming his way. Zip 4 from Barash, thinking about going for Gyro. He's going to commit. He zips again. We'll find the slow now into the Electric Vortex. Has got the backup of the Darkseer. 9 Bashi gets low, and the Fisher does bring him down there. Earthshaker able to pick off the kill onto Gyro, who was kind of left alone there by the rest of his team.
His team bailed, but it's not a huge loss. He's not really had that good of a game. In terms of last hits, he's barely ahead of the Clinks, and the Clinks had like 5 CS at 8 minutes or like 7 minutes or something like that. So A lot of them have been farming quite fast in the last couple of minutes, but now the fight's starting to pick up, so I don't think this will be a crazy high CS game for anyone. I think it'll just be a lot of fighting.
Yellow Submarine, they're going to start pushing back on the bottom lane. They do get themselves a tier 1 here. Maybe think about going again. PSM on the dark sea does have the wall available. In fact, everything's up. Echo Slam is also there. And, well, they're just going to stand the ground and keep pushing onto this tier 2. Do Vega want to try and respond? They don't have Thunder God's Wrath. They don't have the mana for it. Jara does have the cooldown. They do have Primal Roar as well here on Mag on the Beastmaster. And Mag preparing himself, getting the balls out. Lions there on the high ground. Does have now Finger available for this fight. And Blink Dagger is picked up by Zeus. Dale will just TP out. They do find the tier 2. And now they look to bail. Mid lane Dale with the spins, clearing up the Chen army. But he does pay with his life there as he takes a missile and a lightning bolt to the face. And Barash will find the kill onto Mag. So it is a 1-for-1 trade. And they do get a tier 2, so all things said and done, favoring Yellow Submarine, especially seeing as Axe was able to bring down the Chen army with him.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. Oh, the finger.
The Echo Slam?
Echo Slam?
Echo
Slam?
The slam was not there.
Yeah, he overestimated the range of Aftershock there by a little bit, but it happens to the best of us, so. I mean, even that wasn't like so bad. Sure, getting the kill on the line would have been nice, but they still end up getting the tower like you mentioned. And the thing is that Dale dying, I don't know if that's okay for them, because like he needs to get his blink, and dying like that, it's not the dream. He even had a 16 charge wand, but he got hit by a missile, I guess, at the very end when the Zeus ulti kind of hit him at the same time. So the heavy burst kind of just knocked him out. I would like to see him at least pick up a casual cloak, or if he's not going to do that, buy a BKB after he gets his blink, because good God, he is getting annihilated.
Oh, it really is. The burst damage is certainly there against the Axe. And 8-7. If we have a look at the graphs at the moment, it's still pretty kind of even between. Oh, and a bit of lag there. Dale just farming up, trying to work his way towards that Blink Dagger. And yeah, up and down, up and down. Only about 1k favoring the side of Vega, 2k in terms of XP. Nothing too massive. It's going to be a little bit more now as Jara is able to clear up that tier 1 on the bottom lane with the help of the Chen push. Mid lane, Max on his own. There's 3 heroes on the side of Yellow Submarine coming in close. PSM, Dale, and the Storm. Storm thinking about zipping in, and he's going to go for it straight onto Mag. We'll get the Electric Vortex. There's the back of a Seamer. Gets the Hex and a lovely Earth Spike onto Free. Raw onto Dale, and you talk about getting annihilated by the magical burst damage. We might see a repeat of that. He might bring down Seamer. He does. He gets the dunk, but he goes down, and the Thunder God's Wrath. They've already brought down 3 heroes on the side of the Yellow Submarine.
He killed the book. The Ion Shell killed the book. And it killed the Darkseer. I was like, wait a minute, how did he die? poor PSM.
So that wasn't great for Yellow Submarine, and now they're going to lose Roshan as well.
Sima with the plays. The 3-man Impale was huge. Followed up with the Roar. I thought he would Roar Barash, but I guess he didn't think that it was worth doing. I mean, he still died anyway, but interesting that they decided to go that hard. I don't know if Yellow Submarine are feeling less confident because they don't have a super late game carry and they're just making themselves fight, but they're always taking really risky engagements. Like going into a tier 1, they have no vision. They're just like pushing it. Like, we gotta fight, we gotta fight, we gotta fight. I don't necessarily know why. Like, is ultra late game unwinnable for Yellow Submarine? I don't think so. I think their team is good enough to be able to win late. But by giving away these types of engagements and allowing Vega to get Roshan and stuff, being able to defend their tier 1s, you're pretty much saying that we're going to lose faster, but we're scared that we're going to lose late game. I don't know, it's kind of weird to me that they keep like so aggressively taking these fights.
And we're looking at the Jara now. He is starting to climb up the net worth. He's still, it's only 300 actually, 400 behind the Clink, so it is very close between these heroes. How is the Miposhka Clink's doing anyway? He's got the first Oblivion Staff, looks to be building, of course, towards that Orchid, which he isn't really going to have at too much fabulous of a time, but when he has it online, maybe he can look for those pickoffs on heroes like the Lion. And oh, there was a missile coming in, but he just turns around and shoots it down with the searing arrows. Oh, Mag finds a kill on the Darkseer with the help of the Thunder God's Wrath, and now Earthshaker's left running back towards the base. Barash, he wants to try and zip in on this Beastmaster, and it looks like he's going to be able to do it. Dale's there with the backup as well. Will come in for the glory with the dunk there.
Oh, the spin killed the creep.
But yeah, it does burst him down, the net crow return damage.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
He will be fine. It will be fine. But well, Clink's wasn't, but neither was Beastmaster, so they do get a kill in return there.
Well, I think trading 1-for-1 isn't too bad for Yellow Submarine. Like, because of the fact that Vega are the ones who are ahead, they want to try to buy some time. And I mean, getting a couple of kills and forcing Vega off your side of the map is a good way of doing that. With their Clinks dying though, it's not super great. Like his Orca timing is going to be like 20 minutes or later. And if that's his timing, can he even kill heroes like the Chen? Because Chen has a mech and a point booster. He's got 1100 HP. This is kind of why I was apprehensive about the pick, because they're not going to have the Orchid in time to really be able to do anything. And if they had just put him in a safe lane, for example, against Beastmaster, he would have owned the Beastmaster. Any orb walking hero against melee is like an automatic win. And once he gets 6, he can just eat the boars. So the boars don't really do anything either. And then Axe in off lane, sure, he might not do as well, but he hasn't even gotten... Does he have his blink yet? Yeah, he does. Okay, he just got it. And they're going to smoke up, but... I don't know. I feel like their laning could have been better for Yellow Submarine.
Zeus will get called here by Axe. In comes the zip from Barash. The wall gets thrown down as well. Dunk to finish off the Zeus. Done from the high ground from Seema. And the Hex to follow up as well. Trying to stop Barash being able to look for anything more. But he's going to go for it anywhere. Seema Slayer just hangs around. He gets dunked as well by Dale. It's a double kill for the Axe. And now with the call onto Mag, they just continue the aggression. Mag on the Beastmaster will go down as well. 3 heroes down. The cooldown is very nice from Nightpashi Bashi, but it's only himself and Solo left in the fight. They have found Darks here. There's a missile flying through onto Miposhka, who looks to be in a bit of trouble as, well, yeah, the nuke damage and the right clicks. He's been discovered by the dust of appearance, but with the stick charges going into the jungle, he has got the ultimate in a couple of seconds. He will be able to eat a Chen creep, but it's not going to be in time. He does go down. It's a 2-for-3 trade there, favoring the side of Yellow Submarine, but they did lose the Clinks, and Gyro stayed alive for it all and got a fair bit of XP and gold from that engagement.
Overall, still a minor win for Yellow Submarine. That was like the best possible engagement they could have asked for, though, because they end up going on the Zeus straight away, so he got almost no damage off during the fight. They also killed him before the Bloodstone was picked up, so I guess that's kind of nice for no one, that he didn't lose Bloodstone charges. Everything considered, it was a small victory. The thing is, Barash, it's 18 minutes in. He has enough money for a Oblivion staff right now, if he wanted to get one. So all this like reckless fighting that they've been doing, it's keeping them away from the core items that they really need. Like they want Orchid up on the Storm, they want Orchid up on the Clinks, they needed their Blink Dagger on Axe, but everyone's item timing is so late that against like Chen heal mech, a lot of the solo pick potential that you're gonna have is gonna be gone. And with Chen Beastmaster, you're gonna be 5-manning a lot. And if you're not 5-manning, you're only looking for smoke gangs. So with Beastmaster Vision, you can find them quite easily. I mean, Mag last game pretty much secured his team the win by picking off Barash outside of the base.
Missile flying through here onto the head of Axe. Axe will back himself right up behind the tier 2. The push from the side of Vega looks imminent as they do assemble the full 5-man towards the mid lane. Seeing the Slayer just hanging around the sidelines in the jungle, and they've also got Chen coming in with his army at the back of it all. He's going to make the jump here. Fervian has got Echo Slam. He's about 500, 600 gold away from his Blink Dagger. Pops the mech, pops the arcanes, and keeps the pressure on here on the tier 2. Nightpashi Bashi on the front lines. Chen working towards the Aghanims, has the point booster on top of his mech, and coming up to 900 gold. It's about a 4k net worth and a 2.5k XP lead now for the side of Vega. Vacation will come out, but they continue to stand their ground. They want to try and finish off this tier 2, and they won't be able to because in comes a zip. There's going to be a cooldown straight away in response, but no one is there. They do back themselves up. Wall gets thrown down. There's going to be a roar onto PSM with the burst damage. They're about to blow up the Darks here. Dale's going to take a missile to their head here. He'll go down as well. 2 heroes to fall on side Yellow Submarine. They are all grouped up as they get caught out by the Fisher, but can they follow it through? No, the side of Yellow Submarine just can't. They've lost Storm. They've lost Clinks as well as he gets fingered. There's your buyback from Barash.
No, not again.
No, triggers. It's all happening again. We're seeing a repeat. Buyback from Barash, and he dies. How can it happen again? 4 heroes down on Yellow Submarine, and Draskell, I feel like we've been in this position before.
It all seems very familiar.
It really does.
Somebody cue the Twilight Zone music.
Someone play the Vietnam flashback, dog. I mean, this can't be game over, or is it?
It's not game over.
Not game over. No.
It's too early to call GG. Yeah. But I mean, there's tier 2s in top and bottom lane, so this is the only racks they're going to be able to get. Echo, though.
Very nice there. Do catch out. Oh, he dies anyway.
He didn't kill anyone. That's so heartbreaking.
It was such a nice Echo.
Yeah.
Such a nice Echo, but it was just missing something. Missing anything that they could have had on top of it.
If he even had an Ion Shell, he would have actually gotten a kill. That really hurts, though.
Oh, yeah, an Ion Shell and the Surge. That would have cleaned up nicely there. But it looked good. It looked good. Style points. He gets them for that. But
he really wanted to save that Rax. Like, really badly. The funny part about that team engagement is the BKB on the gyro wore off before the fight even really kicked off. Like, as soon as the
Yes.
Stormball in, the Aegis was gone. So they had a chance to defend. They fought pretty poorly, everything considered, and Barash, like, he tried to deal some extra damage to force them out, and they just said, you know what, we're going to kill you again, instead of us backing off. And if he had bought back and just stood by the racks, they would have been a lot less likely to be able to kill the racks in general.
We'll get ROG here. Out come the Necro units with that True Sight. And look at the damage coming through onto Klinks here. I think he's trying to fight, but it's all he could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely gets obliterated there by the Beastmaster. Fisher onto Seema the Slayer in the mid lane. Brash, he's zipping around like a madman. We'll take a missile to the face. Blink forward from the Zeus. Hasn't got Thunder God's Wrath, of course, as it has been used, and it'll just zip out and TP out, and we'll be able to get himself back to base there, the Storm Spirit.
Well, they still got 2 sets of racks standing, and they only lost the melee middle, so it is possible for them to recover this. And showing off the blink on Fervian was... I get wanting to save your racks, but it could be a mistake, because if they see the blink now, then it's like, we know that he has it and we can adjust our play accordingly. But there was like one moment where they wouldn't have known that he had blink, so if you waited for the Darkseer, they could have potentially cleaned up in terms of kills. And you like surge him in, you put an Ion Shell on him, and then you just try to go ham. But now that it's been shown, it's just a lot of little things going wrong for Yellow Submarines, and Vega just continue to exude their dominance over the map, at least for the next little while. Roshan's going to be up really soon. Man, even Chen has Ags at 22 minutes. Ags Mech Arcanes. Get this man some Guardian Greaves and he's good to go.
Absolutely, that's a lot of heals and shizzle. Guardian Greaves, that's the mech boots.
Yeah, mech boots. They also dispel you, which is amazing. So if you get like Orchid at the start of the fight, you can pop them, you get healed, you get the mana back, and you get dispelled.
It's pretty good.
It's
pretty
extremely good.
Not the cheapest of items, but...
Yeah, but you would buy mech and arcanes anyway.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So you're only really investing 1,200 gold.
So, I mean, in that kind of a matter of sense, there's a lot of heroes who do opt for that build, but it's kind of a nice little buff to Chen.
Yeah, it's a nice buff to any mech carrier, because I think the mana cost of the boots also is either diminished or just completely gone. So instead of having to use mana for like mech and arcanes, the mana cost is just poof, no more.
What a beautiful time it is to be a support player.
Yeah, well, not now, but
not
soon.
now. Not now. This is the storm.
Now it's horrible to be a support, but after the patch, it's the dream.
And, well, Vega, they're looking for a dream themselves. They're going to find Roshan. There's a bit of a push coming from Yellow Submarine here on the top lane. 5 heroes in the dire jungle at the moment, but well, Aegis now on your Zeus. Yeah, little god gets to take the immortality for himself.
He's really farmed. We haven't talked about the Zeus much, but he has been involved in quite a bit of action this game. And he's also only died once, and I think that was the one where they went like all in for him.
One of those games where he's opting for the Aghanims over the refreshers.
Yeah, having the tankiness, I think, is what he's favoring over having a double ulti. Although I guess you could easily argue that if somebody else starts the fight, like the Gyro, for example, with a BKB or a Blink Lion, you're probably never going to be in a spot where you get bursted by the team unless you get like echoed or something, like as a counter initiation. So there's arguments for both. I think having tankiness is never bad, though. They got their ice armor from the Ogre, and they'll have like 2,000 health.
Look
Good
at this,
God.
Klinks. He has to get himself back to base. There'll be a call onto no one, and there's a cooldown in response onto Dale. Dale getting forced back. Missile is onto the axe as well. There's gonna be a zip forward and a zip out from Brash as he just comes in for a little bit of a...
Kills the creep wave.
He does. I guess that does indeed do the job for the time being. They'll still keep the pressure on onto this tower. Miposhka trying to take down this Ancient, of course. And Finger ripping apart the Darkseer. Raw onto your Klinks. That's 2 heroes down, both without buyback. No one. He's taking a bit of harassment here from Barash, but he just stands his ground. Indeed, with the point boost onto the Bloodstone. He's tanky. He is a tanky Zeus. Fisher comes out, but they don't even care. They just stay on the racks. There'll be a zip out from Barash. Hex in return into the stun onto Barash, holding him in place, and Zeus just stands there and tries to get the spam out. Shaker tries to join the fight,
but he got static fielded.
Oh boy, it's GG. Well played, Draskell, and well played indeed to Vega, because they have played these games very nicely.
I would say in terms of draft, Yellow Submarine's draft in the first game was better than the second game. But in both games, it was pretty clear that Vega they knew what to do.
Yes.
They knew how their lineup was supposed to play. Mag played great in both games. No one, I think, had a really good second game. And his Zeus play, like, he was always there when he needed to be. He did a ton of damage, which is pretty much all you needed Zeus to do anyway. And I don't know, like Barash just has like these brilliant starts, and he shows that he's very mechanically gifted on Storm, but then he just makes the weirdest choices. Like when he bought back mid in the first game with no BKB and balled in and died, it was like, okay, that was just game ending. That one, the second game wasn't as bad, but it still made me think.
It was similar.
It was a similar thing.
Yeah.
Like he dies once and he's like, oh God, I got to buy back. And then he just feels so obligated to go back into the engagement, even though there's no way he can do anything. Like it's extremely apparent that you cannot kill 4 heroes on your own as a Storm with no mana, at least to me. So
Not to him.
I don't know.
He wanted to give it his best shot.
The other thing too was like the Klinks pick, he didn't even finish his Orchid by the end of the game, and it was 25 minutes in. So maybe like switching the Axe to the offlane and putting Klinks versus the Beastmaster would have been the better play. Like imagine having an Orchid up at like 18, 19 minutes with treads. How much more influence that hero would have been able to have over the game. But as it stood, he didn't really get much at all. And even though he gets that first blood, which was more than he ever should have gotten in that lane, he just couldn't ever get to a point where he was really scary. So I don't know. I don't know if the pick really did what they wanted it to.
No, well, indeed, it certainly didn't seem to, as the games in this first series does go 2-0 to the side of Vega Squadron, and they'll be our first finalists this week. And they, of course, will be playing up against the victors of our second series of the day, which is going to be Team Tinker up against Hellraisers. And that series is due to start, I believe, in about an hour's time from now. But, of course, don't go anywhere. That's it from myself and Draskell until we come back with game 1 of the next series. But first of all, we're going to go to some commercials and then over to see what our panel has to say about that series that we've just experienced. But from myself and Draskell, we'll see you guys later.